Good evening and welcome to the Orleans Hotel and Casino. We're proud to be celebrating the 10th anniversary of this year's National Finals Tonight show. Brought to you in part by Cinch, Prefert, Crown Royal Vanilla, Absolute, Bullet Bourbon, Jameson, 14 Hands Wines, Bud Light, Ram Rodeo, Neutrina, Boot Barn, Montana Silversmiths, Cactus Saddles, Big Tex Trailers, Resist All Hats, American Cowboy Magazine. National Finals tonight with 8-time world champion bull rider Don Gay, 8-time world champion cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that. This is a good-looking crowd. We're so glad to have you here with us tonight for National Finals tonight. This is the 10th year that we've been doing this show here, and this is episode number 96 over the years, and so we're glad to have you with us tonight. We hope you stay with us the entire evening. We have prizes to give away, and great guests are here this evening, so we're glad to have you with us. Anybody else here from Wyoming out there where I'm from? I just checked back there. It's a balmy 4 right now. Yeah. 4 above. Yes, it's above. My wife was out doing yard work today. It's a good time of the year up there. Let's get this thing started, shall we? Let me bring out our, I just walk out here and there's nobody back here, so I'm just crossing my fingers somebody's going to come out. This first guy I know is going to come out. 8-time world champion, best bull rider ever in my book. Mr. Donnie Gay is here. Hello, Donald.
How are y'all tonight? Are we having fun yet in Las Vegas? Somebody say yeah.
How are you?
Very good.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's bull riding has broke out now, hasn't it? It's getting darn exciting.
And I was thinking it was about time, but they really did what I expected them to do 2 or 3 nights ago. But things starting to come together.
They really are. The guys are riding well. Our co-host has just walked in the door back there. He's bringing gifts for you. 8-time world champion Joe Beaver is here. Joe, come on out here and.
Second time in 2 nights. You got it last night. Who's ready? Where's Draper at? Draper in the building. All the way across.
Hi, Joe.
Good evening.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Donnie.
How are you?
You know, I knocked that sign off with my hand. You hit it with...
I hit it with quality shit, man. I hit it with my butt.
We're so glad to
actually, Dan, I might hit it with my head, and he'll never see where that is, so...
Jump.
Yeah.
If you would like to help us out and participate tonight, it's easy to do. Text us a question. We already have a bunch of them that have come in here. The text number is coming across the screen up there, and we would love to have your questions. And Donnie and Joe will answer those, or our guests will answer those as well. We also are on YouTube. I was just talking to the ladies we had backstage, ladies that are right over here. This show is on YouTube. There's dancing here this evening. Did any of you go to the viewing party tonight with Justin Rumford, huh? What a good, yeah, we're just glad to have you here with us. Round 6 is now in the books, guys.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
It's a blur here, isn't it? It just goes so. Is there anybody here, this is your first time to Las Vegas? Anybody that, no? Oh, well, this young man right there.
It won't be your last, buddy.
Yeah.
There's things you ain't even seen yet here that are good.
There's some things you don't want to see.
And let's not have Uncle Joe and Donnie show you what they're talking about here. Round 6 is in the books, as I mentioned. Donnie and Joe were doing it live on the telecast, but we have put together a reel of highlights of this round. And gentlemen, let's just do it here. Donnie, let's start off with the bareback riding. Mr. Vold is hot.
All right, Jake Vold, old Canada. I'm going to go ahead and start singing it. This guy has been riding so good. I thought he got lucky last night with the scoring, but boy, 85.5 points tonight. He got a horse, and he called him Jim Dandy. This is the way you ride bucking horses, and this kid has come to ride. I thought he should have been here in the money last year, but he didn't make it, and boy, rocking and rolling right there. He's getting it done.
That's my tattoo guy.
Keeping you from getting a tattoo.
Steer wrestling tonight, everybody's hung. Tyler Wagensback may have made the biggest move of his career for a gold buckle. Trevor Knowles missed this steer in the 3rd round. Now watch, he lets him too far. He's a little bit late, but this steer stopped, jumped out behind the hazer the previous round. Timmy Sparling did a great job of hazing. Tyler did a great job of bulldogging. That boy's after gold buckle, but it wasn't over. All right, here we go. Riley Duvall, the Duvall family in Oklahoma, that's bulldogging country. He finally cracks ice. He gets on Bray Arms' yellow horse. His dad, Sam, on the other side. He catches his steer. Feet behind him a little bit, a little dead, but he puts the big whip on him, 3-6. Then they thought it was through. Nope, Billy Bugnan, the big guy. How he got down in there that tight, I don't know, but he knew that steer was good. Watch how close the white horse is to the white steer. That's enough room for Donnie to get down in there, but not us. But Billy does it, hooks the nose,
down in
and
there.
wipes him out. 3-6s, they all went for the go-around win. In the team roping, if Luke Brown doesn't lose his rope, he'll win a gold buckle. He has got stones. He's got big stones because he is winning the average in the World Championship. You don't reach like this. Look, that horse is already ducking, no slack, straight to the saddle horn, big steers. Jake Brown on the Horse of the Year. That's why they win the go-around. They're after gold buckle, 4.2.
Well, there's a lot of talent in the saddle bronc riding, and you don't have to have the last name right to get a check here whenever you do this. The mark out was so strong and so good. You watch the spur in motion. Zeke Thurston, he is 88.5 points on Black Hills, and just watch the mark out. Watch how he holds his feet, and then watch him snap back. His feet are set before the horse's front feet hit the ground. That's why we call it the classic event of rodeo, and that might be the best bronc ride I've seen all week.
Could have rode him 12 seconds, couldn't he?
Oh, boy.
All right, in tie-down roping last night, Tyson Durfee had a complete brain fart. Tonight, he comes back, he holds it all in, and he blitzes one in 7.4. You know, it's funny, this arena. It'll make you look crazy, and in nights like tonight, he ropes his calf, gets the slack to the inside, see how he's still pulling on it. He gets to this calf. Now here, this is where a lot of guys get in a speed jam. Calf up, with his calf's head between your legs. It's hard to look cool right there for a minute. But he flanks him down, Rap Mahui, 7-4 wins around. In a barrel race, Kimmy Wall set them on fire tonight. Watch this run. Green on green equals money. My little buddy used to wear green chaps for a reason. She rocks the second barrel, but it doesn't go down. Here's the difference. Look, this horse finishes a turn, headed straight to the alley, runs all the way across the timer, and that means fast.
Hey, in the bull riding, it was great. They rode a lot of bulls, and they rode some really good bulls. Former Bucking Bull of the Year, Brennan Eldred, Crystal Deal. This bull tries to whip him out, tries to drop him in, tries to pull him down. He makes a 90.5 point bull ride. They're going to retire that bull. This is this bull's last trip. He's bucked him off twice before. He comes out, and he's so thrilled that he rides Crystal Deal for the last time for a gold buckle in the go-round, and just what a great guy. We had Brennan on here a couple of nights ago.
He was almost bucked off again tonight, but he never quit riding.
He never quit riding.
He kept shifting his hips over there, and he got back in position. What a way to retire such a great bull.
A great bull, and I'm going to tell you, that's a great bull rider in the making right there. You know, he's had a couple of trips here, and they've not been good. But I tell you, he's maturing, and he is getting it on.
Hey, Dan, I just want to ask, we need to ask Donnie one question.
Uh-oh.
I want to know how that fence feels when he rides it, because that's twice they ask him on the telecast, well, what do you think, Donnie? Suzanne says, he's got Bull of the Year, and this guy, can he ride him? Well, it's 50-50 he can. You either got to be 60-40 or come on.
And I said, and maybe a little bit advantage to the bull, but just a very little bit.
Yeah.
And because
but that's twice you've said that, and both guys have rode.
Yeah,
they're after him.
And the thing about it is when you got a 50-50 chance against arguably as great a bull as there is in the business, man, those are great odds.
Well,
go ahead and rock and roll the dice.
I'm going to tell you about that kid. That kid showed me some try and determination. He, like I said, I thought he was bucked off tonight once or twice.
Well, there were some great bull rides, but the best have-to ride tonight for me, Sage Kimsey rides his bull. That bull stumbles, and he's on the end of his arm, and he's completely away from the bull, not touching him. Bull turning away from his hand. When that bull got his feet and made that next round, it was a hard round, and he rode him so stinking easy. I'm sitting right there, I'm going, That's why he's going to be 3-time world champion.
And
bull
he
rider.
needed to do it because he was losing ground.
Yes.
Momentum-wise.
Right.
Yeah, he had to ride
and
tonight.
he knows he has to answer these guys. I mean, Shane. How about Shane Proctor? You know, he went. He's 6 for 6.
He is.
You know, and just 2 weeks ago at the PBR
He was
finals,
0 for
he's
6.
0 for 6.
Yeah.
And so it can change, but you got to be mentally prepared when it's your turn. Don't mess it up.
Capitalize on every chance you get, because just like we saw tonight, one of the questions, you can be in the lead, and one little thing, you're at the last.
Yeah. I mean, you can go from the penthouse to the outhouse in the rodeo business from week to week, I'll promise you.
From round to round here.
Chicken one day and feathers the next.
Let's get this thing started with this first guest, you guys. Because for me, the bareback riding has been unbelievably.
The bareback riding's always unbelievable. I mean, you cannot imagine the punishment that these guys go through.
And as we talked the other night, Donnie, the first rattle out of the box, they gave like an 87, and where do you go from there? All of these guys are riding so well. And so I'm glad to have this young man here with us. He's
because one of them's riding better than the rest.
Oh man, I'm glad to have this guy here. Maybe
There's
the first
a reason
time
why they got them standings.
Yes, sir.
first time we've ever had anybody on from Iowa. Would you welcome Tim O'Connell is here? Yeah.
Get the hot seat by Joe Beaver because you know I ride the fence. I'm always nice, and he's the one who's got to do the dirty stuff.
Hey, I talk dirty about a guy, but if you've seen the standings, you see that margin right there? That's a huge margin, even in Iowa standards.
Tim, you are off to this has been a great year for you here in the bareback riding. We're so glad that you came by to visit with us here. You won practically everything all summer long. He won Kissimmee, Pendleton, Fort Worth, Dodge City, St. Paul, Fort Smith, and I just ran out of room to write.
That was first at those.
First.
Y'all don't know how hard it is to win first at that many rodeos. I don't care how good your horse is.
Well, Tim was
I want to be the driver.
Man. Tim, the 2013 Rookie of the Year, Tim, and it's been an amazing run for you. You came in here in the lead. I think you're riding exceptionally well, but everybody seems to be, aren't they?
Yeah, this is amazing for the group of talent that we had. Look at our last 2 nights of bareback riding. You know, 2 nights ago, that was our souped-up popper pan, and at 89, I think an 84.5 caught last hole out of 15 guys. Tonight was the first time I didn't place, and I was 3 points from winning the round, and I was 82, and I was at 9th. That's good bareback riding right there.
It's outstanding, and I want to have let's take a look at you at work, and let's go back to round number 2. As you mentioned, you'd won in every round up until tonight, won money in every round, placed in that. But this is from round 2, and take a look at it, Tim. Talk about it.
Well, this is a horse from the Cars. This is a horse I watched Jake Brown get on last year. That was the first time I've ever seen him go, and the book on him is he's around there to the left, kind of flat. He's got the Mike Gouthier bloodline in him. And I had no idea what was going on there. I did not know he was going to have an Alaman right there. And luckily, I told myself to hold my feet through that, and it packed me around the corner. Then he lined back out to the left, and he rode really good after that.
You know, what has struck me this year in the bareback riding, I mean, there's been, you know, a lot of great bareback riders come in, but you are riding so good. You and Jake Vold, especially the last, 3 or 4 rounds, the spurring style, and you guys are, locked down pretty tight binds in those riggings, but both spurs coming back, you seem to be freer with both legs, because they, for those of you who might not know all of it, each side, each judge, 50 points for how well you ride, 50 for the animal. Well, from 1 to 25, I've not seen you and Jake Vold and about a half a dozen other guys make less than 22-point spur rides, and then the rest of it settles out on the horse. But I just don't see how you guys are riding that good. Normally you start seeing guys tighten up. Who's hurt out here?
And here, you talk about the book. You said he's supposed to go left, right? That's not left.
That's the other left. He got that info from the stock contractor.
Hey, Tim, I'm going to go this way, and then I'm not. And that's when I was impressed with his feet. You know, a lot of people right there spur over the neck or get tilted in their hand too much. This guy right here is in total control. Watch his people. This horse is supposed to go left, right, Tim?
Yeah, he's just supposed to go right there in front of the buck and shoots from what I've seen of him.
Wow.
And
Okay, that is right. Don't worry.
Definitely right.
You know, but both spurs never falter. You don't go to the belly, you know, and you don't clench in the neck. You keep rolling them. I mean,
let's get round 4 racked up there, back there, if you will, Colin. What I wanted to say, Tim, Donnie, I don't know if you know this. In high school, he was the bull riding champion, this guy, in Wisconsin.
Not surprised.
In Wisconsin. Tim, because you were
if he'd
raised
have-
right on the
but-
on the state line there,
but if he
basically.
had been from Texas, he would have kept riding bulls. But that's okay.
This is from round number 4, Tim. Talk about it.
round number 4. I'm trying to think. Oh, that was actually a horse that I grew up 10 miles from me. And we weren't going to bring this horse for some reason. You know, there's so many good horses that are left at home, and this was the last one to get cut. Well, one got injured, and he was the next one to roll up. And I was glad to be the one to draw him and prove everyone wrong why that horse deserves to be here. But that's a Junior Bonner of Three Hills, and he's normally a bronc. They switched him over to the barebacks this year, and we're glad to have him because that horse is everything you want in a bucking horse. He's pushing your rigging back at you. He's got some power, as you can tell. He kind of whips me down here after the whistle, and that's bareback riding.
Okay, so would you rather have a horse that has that power for the spurring motions helping you get your feet back down there quicker, or would you rather have a horse that spends a little more time in the air and not have that much power? What's your preference?
You know, I think after tonight, I want something that's going to buck underneath me that is going to make me pretty nervous to get on, kind of like what I got on tomorrow after we just got our draw. But, you know, tonight we had our hoppers. You kind of get like, it's like having a duck in the bull riding. You know, you get, you know.
More nervous sometimes for them than the rank pin. For me,
Yeah,
it was. You know, when on one that you're just supposed to ride. I mean, where it's all on you if you don't.
Yeah, like you're the laughing stock of the locker room. You mess this up. But, you know, when we're getting back into our bucker pins where guys are going to take things a little bit more serious, you know, the power of the horse is going to be there. They all got tricks to them. You know, a horse like that, if I stub my toe there, he's going to yank my rigging away from me and make me look like a fool.
We've got tonight's ride racked up as well here. So, Tim, let's take a look at that one as well.
Yeah, this is just a super nice horse. Gives you some time. I've seen her at Pendleton. She didn't go very far at Pendleton. She barely made the grass at Pendleton. And she was just really good. It was just a really good horse. You know, knock another one out on round 6 and get ready for round 7. But I felt really good about this. I felt like I tracked her really well. I kept my chin down. My feet were even.
I was going to say, whenever you watch this again, watch his head. His head never goes back. He never loses sight of where he's setting his feet. And there's a lot of guys, even here this year, that don't do that. And this actually helps you ride if you can keep control of your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, that was one thing I really worked on this year. If you can keep your chin down, you can see where you're setting your feet. You know, a lot of guys they'll ride with their chin here. You know, you got a couple inches from your chest. Well, if you got one that's bucking, a lot of guys will rely on their neck roll sometimes, keep their chin down. I put a neck roll on just in case I need it, and I hope I don't need it, because if you can keep your chin down, see where you're setting your feet every jump, more than likely you're going to be able to get them back to your rigging faster, put them back down faster.
But to do that yourself, that's the reason that there's that cushion between first and second right there. Folks, this is the very best bareback rider on the planet right now, and we're glad he's spending some time with us.
And after a gold buckle.
Tim, this is your 3rd time here to the NFR. You're 25 years old now, just getting, and we've been talking about this all week, the youth of this NFR and in the bareback riding as well. This one feel any different to you coming in first place to you, this NFR?
Not really. This is just a new generation of bareback riders. On Tuesday, you know, when we all got here, out of the 15 guys that showed up in the workout room, and there was 12 of us in there. You know, that's just kind of unheard of. It's just a new generation of guys. We all are hungry. We all know what it takes to be a champion. You know, that Casey Fields set a bar pretty high. And when he showed up and won that first one, and when he blew everybody out of the water, you know, it made us all say, you know what, we got to do something.
Step up your game, and y'all have shown that. I noticed that look whenever you said new generation. You kind of glanced at me and Joe, and you know, you think, that's okay. We understand.
Hey, you can tell right off the bat it was a new generation when they all showed up to work out. Yeah. And it wasn't 7 a.m. when everybody's coming in.
Yeah, well, you know, it was difficult, you know, when you were doing, you know, we couldn't figure out how many sets of 8-ounce curls we were supposed to do.
And you know what? It might not feel any different coming into this NFR, but Dan, it's going to feel a lot different going out number 1.
Oh, absolutely right. This is Tim O'Connell. Give him a hand, will you? We appreciate so much Tim coming out to see us.
We enjoy watching.
You know, and I think these guys are aware of it too. It's a new generation out there.
Dadgummit, I was going to ask you if you wanted to arm wrestle, but
I can get him back.
No, I'll kill you.
Yeah, you slap him on the back and it hurts.
Hey, we'd have to go pick Donnie's glasses and his hat up for the arm wrestle. He just whip him down.
It's exciting watching. I'm glad to get him out here to do this show with us for the first time. And Donnie, I thought your point about him riding with his head up, and to me that Bobby Moat, that's his style. He's up with those long, seeing where he's going and not laying back. But so many of these young guys now.
The last guy that it was noticeable on every single horse that he was getting first place checks on was Louis Field. And I'm watching that, and his bull riding back in college, that doesn't hurt because that's what you really have to focus on, keeping your chin tucked. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, those neck rolls and things, they help. You know, I had a neck brace, and it was almost like when I put that little neck collar on, I don't know that I bucked off hardly ever. You know, I mean, it was just unbelievably, it made it easy.
And you wear that when you play golf.
He really needs it when he bowls. No, we need it when he bowls so you don't get hurt.
I needed it when I was bowling. They put me in timeout there, you know.
I'm just checking our questions here. Joe, this is Matt Shiazawa snapped a rope tonight. It's hard to see on television.
But he didn't break a rope. He roped
happened?
him crappy. You know, he figure eight a tail, and when you put a figure eight in a rope and it hooks a tail, it's like you're taking a knife out and cutting it. Oh. You know, Matt Shizawa tonight got a great start, had a great calf, and was trying to win the average in the gold buckle, and he cut his own destiny when he figure eight that tail. You know, the only thing a guy can do if you see a tail figure eight is as soon as you do, get off and pull on it and try not to let him hit the end of the rope hard. And then you got him wadded up, but at least you can tie him down. But when he had that tail figure eight and he was right behind his slack, when that bay mare stopped, I told him from the back, duck, because here it comes. You know, you could just tell.
That's the reason he's the best commentator in the business, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, because I didn't even see that.
Yeah, and, you know, I had 14 people text me, you know, what kind of rope was that? What kind of, it doesn't matter what kind of, as long as it's a polygrass rope and you figure eight a tail, you've done it to yourself.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Great answer, Joe. Let's get a roper out here, shall we do that?
A tough roper.
Tough. This is a story, folks.
It is.
This is a great story. So let's get him out here and we'll all talk about it together. This is a great healer. Dakota Kirchen is here with us tonight. Come on out, Dakota.
All right. This is what I told him, and I'll tell everybody. You know, other than Donnie, I'm pretty hard to impress. We've seen a lot, we've done a lot. It's hard to, but when you take a kid like this with as much talent, and Dakota has had as much talent with the heel rope as anybody I've seen in 10 years. He's the young generation, the bareback riders. It's him and Junior and it's the young guys. And you take away a crucial part of his ability to throw that heel rope 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago. And then he comes back to the NFR in this header of all times for his header not to catch. You know, he needs a little confidence here. Come on. He's had a little hell, people. He got his thumb pulled off at the first joint October 13th. Add that up. Donnie couldn't even button his pants right now. He'd hurt so bad. He'd be like, oh, you know. His header misses the first two steers, Dan.
Yes. I have hell with it, and I got both thumbs.
We got video in a little while. We'll see the first steer Dakota got turned at the NFR, the first one. and the first one to rope and then a far without that, he healed him like he had healed 1,500 in a practice pen. That, people, impresses me because that shows what he's made of right there. You give him a round for that.
I guarantee you that's true because we did an NFR pre-show in Fort Worth in November, and I knew he was over roping with Tyler at Jerry Wade's place, and we were doing our prognostications, which meant we were just BSing one another, and and all of this sort of thing. And you said, I'm not sure if Dakota's making the right decision and going on and going to the NFR if he hits that thumb.
Yeah, I told Donnie, I said, he can rope 50 in a row in the practice pen, but the NFR steers are big, things happen fast. It's going to hurt. It's going to, and man, I'm going to tell you what you did, Bubby. You proved us wrong. You tell us, lead us through it.
Dakota, what I want to do, and I want to warn you first, we're going to put a picture up here of
but you know what? You need to see this
to see it, to know
what this boy's been through.
So, guys, if you'll stick the photo up of Dakota, and bless your heart, Dakota, you're sitting there patiently.
I'm sure you want to see it again.
Yeah,
I've seen it plenty.
There's
Y'all look at that. He's riding to the hospital in a truck. That's not a smashed thumbnail.
I wish.
And I knew I was right. They said that somebody asked me, said, will it keep you from cutting your finger off if you wear a glove? I said no, but it makes it easier to find.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So
Y'all couldn't find yours.
Talk us through first, Dakota, what happened,
tell us what
where
happened,
this
Dakota.
was, and what happened.
It was just in Dublin, Texas, at a good friend of mine's house, and we were just roping, and I healed the steer, and I went to Dally, and I missed my wraps, and I just let go of the rope, and the tail just tied in a perfect knot, and it was gone.
Yeah, see, people need to know this. Everybody thinks he did it Dally and got his hand in a bind. That's the first thing they
Like the
said.
end of the rope, the knot on the end of the rope.
The very end of the rope tied the tail, tied in a knot.
It just jerked the end off. It didn't. It pulled it off, guys.
I knew a guy up in Wyoming that happened, and he was just letting he was just following the steer in.
It was just I just healed this, like they turned him and I healed him, and I just missed my wraps and just went like that to let go, and it just tied in a knot.
Okay,
we couldn't find it.
That's October 13th.
Yes, sir.
And you went to a jackpot 2 weeks later? 3 weeks.
Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't long. To Fort Worth, and I didn't have that video. I just did it too. They showed it to me. And it's a jackpot with wild, fresh. This steer jumps 5 foot in the air. Where most people would, really and truly, they're not going to catch him anyway. Maybe not get their Dally with 15 thumbs. He just heels this steer and up around the belly and just lays him down. That's when I call my little buddy Reno and I said, you know what? That boy is going to be ready.
Well, and just hold your mic right up there, Dakota, so everybody can hear you out there. Was there a time when you thought, I'm gonna take, or did you even?
Did you think about not entering the finals?
No, sir. This is what we do. I wasn't gonna miss this for nothing.
I tried to imagine. Yeah, go ahead. I tried to imagine, that. And the closest I could get to is the first year I made the finals when I got out of high school. I was at a rodeo in Parker, Arizona in October, and I rode this bull, and he wasn't very good. Didn't really even win anything, but I wasn't certain we had him made because there weren't cell phones and there weren't computers, and so all of the results were way late. Bull stepped on my spur and broke my ankle. And I'm thinking, oh, my God. I didn't want to call the doctor because I thought, man, he's liable. I don't know how long this broken ankle is gonna happen. Hold me out. And but I thought I'm not going to tell anybody because I'm going to Oklahoma City.
Go ahead and tell him broke ankle ain't shit to losing a digit.
I broke my ankle. This ain't
I
nothing.
said the only thing I can I had to compare to.
Hold on. You got a knife on you? You cut that finger off.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean.
Could I have security down front?
Go ahead, Dakota.
I just, and the day I did it, I was so mad at myself. I was like, why am I practicing? And I'm like, that's what you do for a living. And then I'm like, I don't know. When I came home from the hospital, I tried to rope that day and I couldn't. So every day I just kept up, and then it just got easier.
Let's take a look at you at work
Okay, let's
here.
watch what it looked like right here.
This is round three.
Yeah.
Joe.
T-Wade hadn't caught one yet. And I'm like, come on, put it on the chute and help the boy. So he finally turns his steer. Now, y'all watch. This steer hits and away. Look at that. Y'all, You know how hard that is to do regular? Now watch this steer, Dakota. Tell them how big these steers are too.
These steers, they're big. I mean, they are good, you know. I mean, I like steers that are big as long as they're fast handling. And like these steers, they're good. They're almost too big, but you know, they're okay. Like that steer right there, he hit out fast. And like it takes him a second to get moving, but when you heel them, I mean, they're all there. They weigh at least 700 pounds.
And they hit you.
Yeah, and they hit you hard.
Watch this. When he dallies, watch how that rope gets tight.
Yeah, I mean, it pulls fast. I mean, you know when you got one on the end of it for sure.
Let me ask you this, because your loop, I was so impressed with the first night. Watch the bottom strand, people. See how it hits on the ground and opens up? Did you have to change anything right there? Because it doesn't look like you swing the same.
Mainly, I just try to keep it big and flat and open, and just really work on don't get in a bad position. You know, like my whole life, everybody told me to ride good position, and I never listened to them. I was like, I can out-rope you. That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna out-rope you, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And the first time I tried to rope, the first steer I missed, and I was like, oh no. And every
just
day,
because you don't have the guidance of the top of the finger, right?
It's not the same control. I mean, I feel like once more goes on, it'll be easier.
Sure it will.
Like, but I just right now, it's just learning. I mean, every day, like we go practice. I practice every morning when I'm here. And this morning when we were practicing, they're like, "You feel a lot better now." I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Yeah, I could tell. Like you let them get farther out in front of you. You try to heel them. Like lots of them, I just track them and make sure I catch. Like." It just can make better runs, more realistic. Because each day is better. I mean, it's just the body heals fast.
We have tonight.
Do you have tonight? Okay, let's watch
take
tonight
a look at your run tonight
because
here,
tonight, T-Wade, I don't know if he was running rope or didn't get a dally, but that steer was right here for and when he left, he's moving right there.
Yeah.
And look, guys, I'm talking about, you got to remember, this is 6 weeks ago. You know, and he heels this steer just like he did last time he was at the NFR, just whips it down there, and I'll agree with them. You've only got to throw twice.
Yes,
but tonight was just total confidence. The loop looked like, and we know a lot of people's had it done, but I don't know if anybody's done it 6 weeks and come here and rope that good. And I mean, look at it. I mean, it's a fact. That guy's making it.
This is why it doesn't matter what event you're working. If you're team roping, tie down roping, bull riding, bronc riding, he's a cowboy and a really good one.
Where did you guys place tonight, Dakota?
Fifth.
Got fifth place money tonight.
Yes,
and here's the deal. You talk about put a little pressure on your header. Sorry, but you know how T-Wade is. So I tell him today, I'm texting him, I need your number and stuff. And I said, look, he's the one that got the thumb cut off, not you. Try to catch a steer.
Okay, so you want to know why
here.
y'all want to know why Tyler's feeding the horses and stuff tonight instead of being here?
I'm talking about catch. The boy's got to get some confidence.
Dakota said, man, I got to take care of my partner. Don't you dare go over there and sit down by Joe.
He turns 2 out of 5, and this man ropes both of them for money. That's what a healer does. And he makes no excuses, nor does he act any different than he did before. That, like I said, hard to earn my admiration. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, you don't know what this man's been through the last 6 weeks to do what he does. He's 2 out of 5. He's won money. That's tough. That's a champion.
Dakota, I just want this team roping is still wide open.
Oh,
to me.
for sure. It ain't over yet.
You saw Junior slip a leg tonight, and it's still, this thing is.
And you've been here before, so what do you say, if anything, to Tyler? Because it's his first time.
Do what we work. We work all year hard. I mean, I'm big on working at it. I think if you're gonna do it, you put 110% in it or don't do it. And me and him, we work at it hard. And like tonight, he got on the horse that he rides all year.
I thought that's the best move he's made.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, sir. I mean, we ride that horse every day. That horse, he takes a lot of riding. We put a lot of work in it. And I mean, when you do stuff like that, just work at it. And that horse, when you work at it, it works.
Here's the deal, too. And I saw his dad tonight. We were talking about it. But it just made a big point. When he got back on what he won on all year, he was comfortable.
Every day.
Yeah, he was comfortable tonight. He hung out over the dashboard. T-Wade's got a big loop, and he'll hang out there. But he catches fast for money. But a lot of times what we do as competitors, we're going to make it better. We're going to go get a better horse. We're going to get a horse that's better than we think. We're always trying to stay. And sometimes you got to just do what got you there, and that's what he did tonight.
Yes, sir, most definitely.
He's a 2011 Rookie of the Year, and again, just 25 years old. Got his whole life ahead of him. We're honored you came to be with us.
Thank you.
Proud of you for competing
appreciate
here.
You coming, okay.
Yes,
Dakota Kirchen Schlager.
Not to mention tougher in the boots.
save a few stains. Might slam just a little too hard. Might take it just a little too far. Might burn out like a firework. Like a shooting star across the sky. And we may not be around in 20 years.
How about that?
Can you imagine about where he gets about right there, what's going? I mean, still, you know, if you just do that, it'd have to just.
Oh my.
Well,
That boy's tough.
the thing about it is and you've been here a jillion times, and you can't think whenever you're riding or roping and doing your thing, but to have the mental fortitude to be able to put that out of your mind. Your partner spins one, and you're right there. You're not thinking about it, and it's obvious from watching the video. He's just doing the deal and making no excuses. And like I said, he's a cowboy.
Joe, what I was going to ask you is, it's so mental, every event, but the team roping, you're with somebody else, it starts playing with your head. And so you and I talked earlier about Shay and Colton, the young man they have just had heck. This morning, I was out. They are where I go every morning. They roped 20 steers in a row, didn't miss, wild steers, wild everything, and again.
But you know, when there's 18,000,
yes,
and you're backed in there, and you know the 14 best teams in the world behind you. What Colton is he's completely reverted from back what made him so tough all year. You know, he roped. Like Luke Brown, if y'all watch the team roping Luke Brown, he hits the barrier, he's got a big loop, and when it goes on the horns, it's straight to the saddle horn because that yellow horse
He's
is
ducking
quick.
out of there now.
Well, Colton Smith's horse is the same way. Horse of the year. You know, he knows how to get by him. But if you watch Colton, he looks timid with his first swing. He gets it. He's bringing his first swing behind him, and the steer's down there. You know, it's not like the steer's up there. If you're swinging up here, you're going to catch lights. Steer's down there. Well, by the time he breaks it down, and he's in, you know, it's time to be throwing. The horse is a step ahead of him. He's a step behind. And when, you know, if they were roping steers like they've roped previously some years with little old horns, you know, about that wide, he can get by. But these are real antlers. These are bats on, you know, they've got to be out and over. And I think until Colton changes that, you know, Shay's going to do a lot of hazing this week.
Oh my, and I wish Colton could have heard you say just that right now. As we mentioned, a bull riding is broke out here in Las Vegas. It is just getting great. And Donnie, again, a young group of bull riders that can ride. And this gentleman, the last 2 nights, he's getting it together, Donnie.
Yeah.
We're glad to have him here. Scotty Knapp is here. Would you give him a hand? Come on out, Scotty.
Albuquerque.
The only one who wants to have fun tonight. Is there anybody out there who wants to
All right, you get the little one out here too?
Oh, yeah.
You got the family. Where are they at out here?
Well, they were over here, but one of them got to making some, and Mom took them out.
Well, I told them that nothing was off limits in our show. I mean, that goes for changing diapers or whatever.
We keep Donnie every night. We'll sure keep a screaming kid.
Yeah.
Huh, Dad?
Yeah. Oh, he's throwing a ball and fit a couple of nights, and this is nothing here.
Hey, we're not going to bring up who changes his diaper, so.
Scotty Knapp, it's good to have you here. First time to the NFR, and before you even got here, Donnie told me that this guy can ride. And I want you to tip your hat back just a little bit here, just so that that eye right there, that left.
How many stitches is that?
Oh, I got 6 from one bull, another 6 from the other, so 12 altogether.
Even does.
Equal opportunity stitcher there on that.
You got to keep it even.
And before we do anything else, Donnie, let's take a look at round number 2. And Scotty, you can talk about getting popped here and what happened, because you have turned it around, man.
Okay, so I didn't know if you remembered this or not, but let's just talk about this bull ride.
Yeah, I kind of made a big move, and he brought me down on the head. That's right where he wanted me, and unfortunately got me good for the second time. He got me in Caldwell, too. It wasn't quite as bad, but, you know, you see my feet come back. I'm all out of position, and that's what happens. You gotta
Well,
be in that position.
it's one of those thank you Jesus deals, because he doesn't really step on you while you're laying there knocked out colder than a cucumber. I told somebody when your helmet hit that bull's horn, I said the lights are on and ain't nobody home. And he hit the ground, and the bull misses him. And it takes being a little lucky like this right here in this bull riding business, you know, because he takes a shot. Jerome Davis broke his neck and is paralyzed because he did exactly the same thing, but his head hit before your arms hit, and it's just, you know, inches, fractions, seconds, and no one knows why. But That was the second time he had done that to you? You didn't act nervous at all when you got on him in the locker room or anything.
I was a little irritated to see him by my name. I wanted to get him rode. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, there's 14 other bulls in here, Scott. Put my name by something else.
Yeah, but thankfully I had a helmet on, and that probably helped me quite a bit.
Well, and you and I were talking earlier, Scotty, that things have changed around the last couple of nights. You say you can feel it in the locker room. There's a different energy going on. Talk about that. Guys are riding.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of down and out, my shoulder especially. That's the main thing.
He separated his shoulder, too, unconsciously. He didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose, and I've dealt with this injury before, and it's sidelined me for about a year and a half. Well, I wasted a year trying to ride with it, and then surgery another half a year, and that was a big mental factor. I just had to block the pain out, block the shoulder thing out. Thankfully, the Justin Sports Medicine taped me up good every night, and it's been holding up now. And energy's changed completely, and got that one out of the way last night. We're just balls rolling the other direction.
Let's take a look at last night, Scotty. It has changed in a big way.
I
dramatic.
really liked last night's bull ride. Go ahead and talk about this bull and what you were feeling.
Oh, he come around right there to the right away from my hand. I knew I needed to stay up to the front because I can't make real big moves with my arm, and so I've been focusing just riding on my knees the whole time. And as you can see, I got a good start, and he just was jumping right into me, and I got a little stiff, but I kicked loose, and it kept me going, thankfully.
Okay, I want to watch this one more time, and Joe B, you see his free hand, how it's up there, so we know his shoulder's separated, and they got it taped, but he keeps that up there. Let's watch it one more time. And so now envision the second time they rode all 10 bulls out here and a guy named Jim Sharp. Did he ever move it any more than that? Your shoulder can be separated. If you put it up there in the right spot to keep your butt in the right spot, this can actually feel like it's easy sometimes, can't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, compared to the other nights, this felt a lot easier. I'll guarantee you.
I mean, he's looking at me like, stupid.
I want to do that other again. Run him back.
Well, it's as complicated as you make it. The simpler you keep it, the simpler it's going to be. It's bull riding. It ain't rocket science, like they say.
And he's a rookie, folks. This is this new generation of guys, and we're talking about the body language and stuff in the locker room. There's been a couple of nights I thought they could have rode 7 to 10 bulls, and I've said it, and then we'd ride 3 or 4, and I couldn't help but being just a little disappointed. And disappointed for you guys because, what was happening is you ride the majority of those bulls, but if the right guys don't draw the ones that fit them, just that style, and, of course, you have no control over it, but tonight I thought was the best night of bull riding so far at this year's NFR.
Scotty, we've got
let's see Scotty's ride tonight, because I said in one of my interview pieces that I thought you could win the round on this bull because I thought this was the best bull, this Pistol.
Yeah, he's a really great bull. I got on him in Fort Worth. He actually was a little buckier there and tossed me down, and same thing, I knew he was going to go right, had to stay up on the knees, stay to the front. He actually beat me around, and I was kind of playing catch-up here and there, and that sticky rope held me in for that extra 1/10 of a second.
Well, it might have cost you a point or two, because the judges could see that he was working you into your hand right at the whistle, and it doesn't matter if it's 7.9 seconds and you get in a bind right, not here yet, but right there. You get in the bind right there, that last half a second, and the judges, it's human nature. They're going to dock you a little bit, and I think that cost you, maybe a point or two, but just a great ride. Did he ride as good as you thought he would? I mean, did he feel good to you?
Yeah, he felt great. Of course, I got a kind of a bad start out on him, but once I got back to him, it was just keep working and hustling, and he felt really good. A lot better than the last time I got on him, too, because he made short work of me. I ain't going to lie, but it was redemption.
The first time I saw Scotty Knapp, he came to a bull riding down at Jerry Nelson's house at a place we called Nutty Jerry's, and he rode a bull called Warlord, the bull's been here 3 or 4 times, and they took him to the PBR finals, and a bucking dude. And the first time I saw him, he stuck it on him, won the bull riding, and I thought he'd be here automatic that next year, and that didn't happen. It took a couple. You've been working at getting here, so tell us that story just a little bit.
Yeah, that was 2013, and same deal, shoulder dislocation in Fort Worth, and rehabbed it for a while. That sidelined me for about 2 months. Come back, just fought myself for a while through the summer, and the end of the year picked up, and I was riding good, but it was about 7,000 out. And then last year as well, tore the ligaments in my riding thumb, and another 7,000 out again. So it's been progression, you know, just consistently working harder and harder every year.
Well, that's why I've always said if you're sore and just beat up like you are right now, you go ahead and cowboy up and ride. But if you're hurt, where you made that one mistake was doing that rehab thing when you knew damn good and well you needed to have it fixed. And then you got it fixed and you got here. And I know I'm, for one, glad that you're here because you're one of those guys that can ride rank bulls. And there's not a lot of guys rodeoing today that I will say, you know, and there's about 7 out of the 15 here that I'd go put up my own money to watch them on rank bulls. Not good bulls, because there's a lot of guys can ride good bulls. If you're in the right spot, it's a lot of fun.
There's a big difference between good bulls and rank bulls.
Yes.
Big difference. And that's why you see, you know, he'll get on them rank bulls and try to win.
Yes.
What place did you finish in tonight after, do you know?
I believe I was maybe 5th. I don't recall.
Big
Wasn't
paycheck
first, I know
last
that.
night. Big paycheck for you last night. He's got a 1-year-old daughter that Donnie talked about a little earlier. She just turned 1 year old. Tell us her name.
Auburn. That's her name.
And your wife is here somewhere.
Yeah, Callie. She's out here as well.
Are you in here?
I'm so glad that your daughter took after her mother.
Oh, I'm very thankful for that.
I love you, man, but yeah.
Well, there's 4 more rounds to go, and we're excited to be watching you, Scotty Knapp. We appreciate you stopping out to see us here at National Finals tonight.
You know, it's a huge imposition for Joe and I to ask these guys to come spend time with us, but you know, and they do it not really for Joe and I, but they know that you people want to see some real cowboys, and they don't mind spending time with y'all.
Give him a hand, will you? Scotty Knapp.
Yeah, chicks dig scars. Ask his wife.
Yeah. Good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
This rodeo has been so enjoyable to watch, and boy, it stepped up tonight. And again, Donnie, you mentioned earlier that our friend Shane Proctor at 31 seems like father time out there riding with all these young people out there, and he is knocking it out.
And what I liked about tonight, I mean, the whistle caught him. He about bucked off. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, he made a veteran move to not slap that bull because he didn't come close to touching him.
And he knew the whistle was close. He had to get there.
And he knew it.
Yeah.
And he went ahead and did it. But I'm going to tell you, he was so angry at himself for putting himself in that position. Yeah. And I'm thinking, there's a guy that's concentrating on riding as well as he can, and he's not worried about 6 for 6 or $26,000 or gold buckles. He's worried about, I want to be Shane Proctor, and I want to show him just how good he wants to win every single ride.
I don't know if y'all got to see the interview with Luke Brown tonight. They asked him, they asked Jake, and Luke said, well, you're in that contention for the world championship, and the average is playing into it. What made you take that chance tonight? And Luke Brown said, $27,000.
Came here to win.
He never even thought, he wasn't even thinking about the end. And when it's that much money each night, you have
as
to try
fast
to win.
as they throw them damn ropes anymore, you can't think nothing.
And then besides that, they're team ropers. I'm one too. We don't think a lot. Come on.
And Joe is still a team roper, and he's going to be competing later on this week, and we're going to bring this gentleman out to tell you all about the Boyd Gaming Shootout. Bob Tallman is here. Bob, come on out here, and let's talk some more rodeo. Give Bob Tallman a hand right here.
The master behind the microphone.
Have a seat, Dad.
Sean, let's make sure this is the right mic for Bob.
It's on. It's not on. Hello?
I think they may have.
It's okay. I've had this happen to me before. Hello? 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 Hello?
They're both on.
Where are you
Bob
going,
is
Shorty?
Go get something. Bob, I mentioned that Joe is going to be competing this week, along with a who's who of world champion cowboys that are coming here to the Boyd Gaming Shootout, and it's coming up in 2 days, and it's exciting stuff.
Hours away. And the start time, we're going to, the lights go out and the pyro comes on at 2 o'clock.
2
Doors
o'clock,
open
2
at
o'clock
1 o'clock.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and just a shade under a 2-hour performance.
Probably 145, 150, and it's designed for that with 8 in each event. The idea here is to allow people, they can go shopping in the morning, catch a cab, come here. For those of you that are staying here, and I know that a lot of people are staying here because this last weekend to come to the shootout. And that's cool because you can just walk out the back door and go right to the beautiful arena. And you can actually stay inside all the time, but the weather's absolutely phenomenal. The cool thing about this is, and Donnie sat right there with us last year all the time. By the way, you can grab a microphone anytime you want, as far as I'm concerned.
I've got plenty of jobs out here this year, so...
I appreciate your opinion.
I could come up and visit, talk with y'all, but with you and Roger Mooney, y'all are two of you've just been the best forever. And Roger Mooney is not far behind you and Boyd Paul Hamas, who forever. And so I like to go and listen to somebody that I think is really good, and that'd be y'all.
He and I get to work a couple of days a year together at Fort Worth at our big Bulls Night Out. But
Bob, what I want to not miss tonight is, as I mentioned, Joe's entered. People can bet on these guys.
And this year you can bet each round, right?
Yeah,
not just one time.
No, you can bet each round. And here's why you might want to think about coming to bet. First of all, they're $30 tickets. I bought a row today, but I couldn't buy down low. And the first 5 rows for the first 4 sections on both sides are sold out. And of course, I need to take people on Saturday. So if you're thinking about it, when you go out tonight, turn right there to our box office and get your tickets now, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or buy all 3. And the man stopped me out here tonight, already asked, will these be season tickets? And that is something that I don't know the answer to yet. Yeah. But I think if you were here last year and you're here this year, and you just text or when you're there, ask the Boyd Gaming people, send them an email, and I think it can be. Here's why you want to bet, okay? Now, Joe bet, and his wife took the money, which should be the case. Did you bet?
Did I bet?
Terry took the money?
Always.
Thank you.
That's the reason I don't, my house is paid for, so it wasn't my fault.
I heard you say that the other night, and I'm proud of you for that. In fact, there's a lot of people don't have a house paid for, and I'm one of them. But I just keep buying houses. Bobby Moat. Why wouldn't you want to come bet on Bobby Moat? He's won $2.6 million. Bobby Moat's got 4 world titles. Bobby Moat starts off with a 3 Hills bucking horse called Mars. Okay, now you're going, they got them kind of horses. We have 16 rodeo producers that bring the bucking horses in the bulls here. 16. So when you go to know and bet, get your program first, you can go to your seat, you can get up, you can do it electronically. Casey Brewer, Ty Brewer, he rides over here. Casey's riding with us over here. These guys, every other year, they're brothers, and they trade out winning the Badlands Circuit Finals. And I've seen them at Reno. I've seen them at the Calgary Stampede. Tilden Hooper, 4 times he's been here to the NFR. And you got to think, where's this guy been? What's he going to do? I'm going to tell you right now.
Those guys wouldn't come and compete. They wouldn't enter especially the rough stock in if the quality of livestock wasn't going to where their ability meant something. They wouldn't come if it wasn't going to be great livestock.
Well, here's the deal. Tilden Hooper, Thursday afternoon, has got a horse from Binion Survey they call High Life. This horse has been marked 4 times, 22-22.
Out of 25.
Out of 25 points this year. And at Fort Madison, Iowa, where we've all been at a large time in the Big Pen, where it's hard to get a horse to buck. Tim O'Connell was on here earlier, was 88 points on this horse. I'll give you a little inside stuff, so if you're coming Thursday, bet on these kind of guys. Then you can go down and bet on Billy Tudor. Billy Tudor's just young. He's kind of like Scotty Knapp. He just ain't got his groove right where he wants it yet. But this kid, I guarantee you one thing, he wears 3 neck braces because he gives it 100%. Steer wrestling time. Hunter Cure, 13 and 15. He's won the world title. He didn't win it in 14 because he went and had knee surgery. And did it right, took the year off, and has a beautiful family. Hunter Cure is going to take a run at him. But why wouldn't you bet on Jake Reinhardt? 6'7".
I'm betting on Joe Beaver.
They didn't let him into bulldogging. He's crippled too many steers. But
Too scared to get off.
He'd thrown so many steers out of the arena, they finally just blacklisted him.
Who are you roping with, Joe?
He's roping.
Roping with my boy McCoy Pro Philly, which made the Southeast Circuit Finals this year, made the permit finals, last year. We placed in both the rounds and was one out in the last. And they said, you want to try it again? And I said, who's coming? And they went to telling me all these guys, world champ. I say, you bet.
Let me tell you both something real quickly, Bob. Today when I was over at John's house today, Paul Tierney was there. And so Paul came up and asked, he said, what is it? What's going on over there at Boyd Gaming? What's going on with you? And so I told him what was happening. He said, well, can I be invited? Can I get in this? And I just told him, he said, that's the kind of thing. And Paul Tierney, if you don't know Paul Tierney, time event champion of the world and still swings, he's roping today at the World Series of roping. But how can other people, you need to be invited like Joe to be in this.
If you're not from 16
to 19.
to 19th, you have an automatic in if you want to enter.
Like Clay and Jade, they're an invite. They
Yes.
wanted to come.
Clay Tryon, Jade Corkle, okay? You know how many millions of dollars they've won, each of them with 3 world titles. Well, when you go below that, then you get Derek Begay and Clay O'Brien Cooper. Clay O'Brien Cooper has been here 26 times, okay? And
Mr.
with the
Nasty.
7 world titles that he has, would you bet against him? Well, I don't know, because you got Joe Beaver and McCoy, and if Joe gets mad and gets out of there on the right deal and, doesn't mess around in the box too long, because I'll tell him if he's in there jacking with that horse.
I can't be old because that boy is young and he gets mad.
I can understand it. He's got the right to.
Tell us the format, you guys, how you move.
So we're going to
on.
run 8. Everybody's going to run 8 the first 2 performances.
Thursday and Friday.
Yep. And then we're going to take the top 6 money winners.
Yep.
And we're going to go and run 1 on Saturday.
You'll love the electronics in this deal because all 8 will be featured on the big board. Yep. On Saturday, there'll be 2 of them X'd out.
Yep.
Okay, their pictures are still up
You
there.
don't want to be in the X.
You don't want to have a red X over your face. 6 go, and then the 3 of those come back for the short championship round. And it's pressure and it's power. When you look at the livestock, and I just told you, 16 producers are bringing the bucking horses and bulls, and the calves and steers are as good as any place in the world. Then you get to bet on them, and their wives are going to be betting on them. That doesn't put any pressure on them because unless they go to the ticket window and buy the tab, they're not thinking about just trying to win some betting money. They're thinking about winning the $10,000.
What's fun for me is I'm going to bet on the bareback riding. I'm going to bet on the bull riding because it's the guys, like Donnie said, the stock's good, but it's guys that win.
The stock's good, but there's guys, and there's good quality cowboys. Like last year, J.W. Harris, 4-time world champion bull rider. We bucked him off, and they had frontier bulls, but we bucked him off twice.
Yeah, thanks. I bought him.
So you bought him, and I laughed.
Well, what I like about it, Bob, you said this year you can bet before each one, so you can go see if somebody's on a roll.
You bet on Friday, you bet on Saturday. You can bet.
This is just a fun deal. This is adding to the NFR experience, and that's all attributed to Boyd Gaming. And this arena, if you didn't go last year, this arena is second to none. I mean, it would be a great arena to compete in because it is an outstanding arena to sit here and watch.
And it's a very comfortable place. Theater seats, and the beer is just as cold as it is any place in Vegas. Jake Vold was here last year. He was 16th, okay? And I talked to him throughout the summer. He says, I'm going to be in that top 15. I don't want to hurt your feelings. But he said it was such a great thing to come over here, and he won like $14,000.
Yeah, and watch the NFR, and don't think that didn't have something to do with him being here. And how many go rounds has he won? 2, and right there for the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea of this, if it wasn't, it didn't come back just because we wanted to have a rodeo again. It has come back for a 2nd annual and get ready for the 3rd, the 4th, and the 10th, and it will grow. The reason that it's back is, first of all, the fans loved it. They all wanted it to come back, and we do email blasts to find out What did you like? What didn't you like? Will you come back? Was it your first time? And Roger and I will take some demographic studies within there. So you're going to get to watch all of these NFR qualifiers, all of these world champions. And a couple of them that were here last year over there in the Thomas and Mack where they need to be. And you know what? This year, some of those kids might not be able to get back on. Scotty Knapp, with the injuries that he had, if he's good in December, he can come here. But the invites, and you need to, with Rory,
Well, what I can see happening
who's going to get to come back and who's going to get to row. The main thing is,
and I love Cowboy Christmas, but my God, how many times can you go shopping? I want to go to rodeo.
how many times can you walk a quarter of a mile and not trip and fall down on that red carpet over there? But for all of you that come over there to get autographs, for all of you that go shopping, you still got all morning, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Jump back with us. Come have some lunch with us. The doors open at 1. We're going to rodeo at 2. And by about 3:45 to 3:50, we'll have you out of there. Come to the hotel. We got a party right here. Stay for the viewing with Rumford. Come and see us again at the National Finals tonight. If you start with us on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday at 1 o'clock, we'll keep you right here till 1 o'clock, and you only have parking's free.
Go ahead, Joe. Did you?
The one thing about it is, if you start with us, finish with us, because it's going to be good.
It's going to be great. We hope you enjoy. Give these guys a hand, would you please? We're Joe and Bob and Donnie. As I mentioned, we need you to stay right there because we have prizes to give away, a lot of prizes. We have guitars to give away, signed guitars and jeans and hats and all that. We thank you for being with us here. As soon as we say goodbye here, we're going to turn down the lights, do our credits, and then we'll bring them back up and give away prizes. Thank you for being with us here tonight for National Finals tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the National Finals Tonight Show at the Orleans, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow and remind you to join us for the 100th episode on December 10th. Same time, same place. We invite you to keep the party going at the legendary Buck and Ball. Head to the Buck and Ball Saloon for live music, dancing, beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. And one more reminder, get your tickets to the Cinch Boyd Gaming Shootout Rodeo December 8, 9, and 10 right next door. Prices start at $30.